The second competency that companies are typically looking to evaluate is relationship management. And some typical behavioral interview questions you might hear in the relationship management category include questions like, tell me about a time when you had to get past a gatekeeper in order to speak to a decision maker. And again, this goes back to Sales 101. Every salesperson worth their salt knows that there's going to come a time, and often many times, where you have to get past someone who's not the ultimate decision maker. Whether that be a secretary, a front desk person, an executive assistant, or an individual contributor or manager who's in the organization belonging to the person you ultimately want to sell to. Maybe they're blocking you from getting there. Maybe that particular vice president has told his or her executive assistant, do not send people my way, but you've got to figure out a way to get past that gatekeeper. So that's a question that's asking you to give an example of when you've done that. What have you done? Have you brought donuts? Have you brought coffee? Have you taken a person out to lunch, or did you just build a rapport hanging out at the front desk, even though they wouldn't let you get to the back to speak to the person? Or was it email correspondence that you finally broke down the barriers? Just be ready to answer that question. The second question in the relationship management category that you might face is, give me an example of when you've maintained a client relationship with a key decision maker when there were no current sales opportunities. They might even ask you to share an example of when a relationship you nurtured, such as this one, turned into a sales opportunity. So again, what are they asking you here? Essentially what this is saying is, there come times over the course of your relationship with customers where there may not be anything new to sell. Maybe they've already bought your product or service. You've got them on a 2-year contract or whatever the case may be. And maybe there's just nothing new to sell at the moment. And so maybe you've had 3, 4, 5 months, 6 months with nothing new there. So the interviewer is looking for you to give an example of a time where you were able to maintain the client relationship, even though there were no opportunities to sell them something. So that can include things like you checked in on a monthly basis with them via email, or you went by once a month to visit that person in the office, or you took them to lunch, or you had made note of their birthdays or their kids' birthdays or whatever the case might be. And whenever those dates came around, you reached out or you sent a Starbucks card or whatever the case may be within the rules of what you're able to do in sales, right? You've got to be ready and armed with examples of multiple relationships like this that you've been able to maintain. And then give an example of how a relationship like that you nurtured finally turned into a sales opportunity. So again, be prepared with examples. A third question you might get in the relationship management category would be something like, tell me about a time when one of your key allies left the company and you had to win over their replacement or the new decision maker in order to keep the customer as a client. What challenges did you face? Now, again, this question's pretty self-explanatory, but this is essentially saying the person you sold a product or service to all of a sudden either decided to leave and go off to a new company, or they got fired, or they retired, or whatever the case may be. And someone new came in. And so now that warm and fuzzy relationship you had no longer exists. What did you do? How did you build a new relationship with the new person? What strategy and tactic did you take in order to do so? And again, this happens quite often, so you should have a few examples of this. And again, if you're a new salesperson, you may not get this question if you're coming straight out of college or something, but over time, this is a question you're going to have to be able to handle. I help frustrated job seekers successfully navigate the job search and interview process.